So welcome to Autodesk AutoCAD Beginners level course. Once you have installed the software, you will be greeted with this screen. Here is your main menu. From this, you can select your templates. These are all the default templates that AutoCAD has offered in Imperial or Metric. For now, we'll not get into much detail of this. We'll get into it later. You can open a file from here that you already have. You can get more templates online as well. We will just start the new drawing first. So this is your main drafting area, drafting space. In case you have your grids on, that's fine. This is your ribbon menu. The main menu where you'll find all your drafting tools, your modify tools, annotate, layers. We'll get into each of this in detail. This is your basic menu for opening a new file. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing once you open your file and before you start drawing anything in AutoCAD is you check for your units, because that's very important. You won't, once you start drawing, it's very difficult to change from one unit to another. So for that, we will first check our units. You must be knowing that this is your command line. F2 is the shortcut for all your detailed command line. This is where you will be using typing your command. So first, we will set the units. That is, we'll type in units. Enter. I am working in millimeters. I find millimeters comfortable. If you find feet and inches, you can select your imperial system. Decimal. I will keep it to 0.00 precision. Precision for the angle is okay. And we will hit OK. All right. So first few things when you get started. So this is your selection tools. In case you have a lasso, I will just show you what I'm saying.
So you click right to click. How you get this part, please?
Yes. So if you have something like this, left click and left click it and drag it. If you have something like this, you don't want this to be in selection. Is your screen showing this? If your screen is showing like that selection, go to options. We will type in options in your command bar, hit enter.
Okay.
Go to selections and make sure that allow, press and drag for lasso is unselected. Apply and OK. You want your selections to be either blue like this or green like this. This happens when you drag from left to right, and this happens when you drag from right to left. Okay. Okay, so once you're in the options, these are your basic drafting settings. We don't have to do much in this. Do not try to change basic settings, but there are a few things that you should keep in mind. This is files. We are not going to touch anything. For your display, we are not going to touch anything. If you want a dark or a light theme, you can change it from here. But that's fine. You don't need to change that. This is your crosshair size. So your crosshair is this cursor here. Now, if you see, if I increase my crosshair size to 100 and apply it, you see that my whole cursor has enlarged and now it's covering this screen. So this is the setting for that. I don't really, you can keep it whatever is comfortable for you, doesn't matter. This is your basic open and save settings. So where your drawings will be saved. This also you can leave it as default. Plot and publish, we don't touch it. It's basic. Systems, user preferences, we don't have to worry about that. Drafting. Drafting is, these are your OSNAP apertures. So this is your aperture size. Once we get to that, I'll explain to you in detail. 3D and selection. Yes, selection. If you have a geometry and you select, this is the selection points. So this selection is actually the pick size box number, the box size. You can decrease or increase it from here. So if I say increase and apply, now it's become bigger. This is generally when you are drafting what you feel comfortable with. If you want, you can select it from here. Profiles also, we are not going to change anything. Okay. So once you have set up your units, let's use your drawing tools. So these are the tools basically for everything that you're going to draft. The first is the line tool. You can either type in line or L, enter. L is the short form for line tool, to activate line tool. And you can start drawing your lines.
Perfect.
Now you see that my line has been snapped to the ortho mode because I'm getting all these 90 degree. This is the orthographic mode where you can switch it on and off at the very bottom of your settings bar. The little right angle triangle is your orthographic mode. So if I switch it off, you will see that I'll be able to draw a line with any direction. To type in a line with a specific distance, all you need to do is specify the start point and then specify the distance. So I'm going to say 1000 since I'm working in millimeters. And I have my 1000 mm line. The new AutoCAD feature allows you to draw a line that is straight as well as you can also give it an angle. If you want to change the angle from 90 degree, you can go to, you can switch off your ortho mode and this will give you basically where you need to, whichever angle you need to draw. If you want to change that angle to a specific angle, you need to hit on the tab button. Now it will tell you to specify the angle. So let's say I want it at 50 degrees. I'll type in 50 and enter, and my line will be at 50 degrees. So this is the new feature in AutoCAD, which is very helpful. You can give a dimension and angle at the same time. So let's say I want 1000 line, and then I'll hit tab. And it will give me what angle I want it at. And let's say I want it at 120. So now I have a line that is at 120 degrees and it's exactly 1000 millimeters. So AutoCAD now allows you to do that as well. To change from ortho on and off, you can also have F8 as your shortcut. So F8 is for on and off your orthographic mode. The next is the polyline. Polyline also gets activated by PL enter. That's the P line. Now this, how it's different from a line tool. This is basically a continuous geometry. If you see that these are my line, this was my line command. Now this, every line is a different entity. It's a different geometry. But when I use a polyline and I click on this, this is one single entity. This is the difference between a line and a polyline. So a polyline will be always a continuous entity, and a line will always be a segmented entity. We will get into each of these later as we start drafting and drawing, and then you will know where to use a line and where to use a polyline and what is more helpful. The next up in the draw tool is the circle. You can type in circle or C enter for circle. And now if you see that it's asking me to specify a radius. And if you see on this command line here below, it's asking me, either I can provide a radius or either I can provide a diameter. So right now it's telling me to specify a radius. So let's say I want a 500 mm radius. I have a circle that is 500 mm radius and 1000 mm dia. And if I want to say that I want to give in a diameter, what I'll do is I will either click here, I'll do diameter and I say 1000. Now it's a diameter, or I will activate my circle command by saying C enter. I'll specify the center and I can also type in D enter for diameter. And now I can specify the diameter as well. The next up is the rectangle command. R enter is also for REC enter for rectangle is the shortcut. It's again telling me to specify the first corner point. So I'll just specify it here, and the next corner point, I'll specify it here. That's how you draw a rectangle. Now, if you want to give it dimensions, AutoCAD now has made it easy to, you can always see the dimensions you're drawing in. So now it's asking me, it's highlighted my length. I'll say 800, enter. And it's given me an 800 length and the 430 that I had already. If you want to select both, you can say 800. I'll say tab. Now it's locked my 800 here. And now it's telling me to provide the width. Let's say 400 and I'll hit enter. Now I have an 800 by a 400 rectangle. You can also give in the dimensions by saying rectangle 800, comma 400. And I have the same rectangle. So you can either use your length and width as a length, comma width, or you can hit your tab button to activate your width. I'll show it to you once again. So let's say I want 1000. I'll put in 1000 as my length. I'll hit my tab button. It'll activate my width, and I will say 800, hit enter, and now I have a rectangle that it's 1000 by 100, 800.